Welcome back. Now, the Namibia Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, was recently recognized as the best civil aviation authority in Africa. That's following a vote at the Aviation Week Africa. Now, this remarkable achievement speaks volume about the strides Namibia continues to make in maintaining international standards in aviation. Now, joining us to unpack what this award means for the country, as well as to give us more insight to the mandate of the NCAA and its key focus areas for the rest of the year is George Matroos, the Senior Manager for Safety, Promotion and Quality at the Namibia Civil Aviation Authority. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
And welcome to Good Morning Namibia.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Congratulations, firstly, on the award being voted the best in Africa at the Aviation Week. This recognition, what does it mean for the Namibia Civil Aviation Authority and Namibia as a whole?
Firstly, it's quite a momentous occasion, or just the recognition alone means a lot for the Namibia Civil Aviation Authority and the nation at large. Before I continue saying anything, I just want to thank the staff that made all this possible, because it's with their dedication and their continuous efforts that made this really possible. And then obviously the managers and the board of directors, with their direction, nothing would have not have been possible. And then the stakeholders, clearly these ones are the ones that implement the regulations that we have put forward. So they are the ones that have set up the high standard which we are measured against. And last but not least, our government, the Ministry of Works and Transport, our shareholder ministry, they have done a tremendous work in listening to our request and standing by us in whatever we need. What this means actually for the Namibia Civil Aviation Authority is that we are recognized by our peers as their equals, especially the ones that are regarded as the best of the best in Africa. And that is testament to the work that we have put through as an organization. For the country, it means that there is a lot of confidence that has been built in terms of the aviation infrastructure that we have put through. Civil aviation is one of the catalysts. That means that tourism is being moved through this. Most of our goods are being transported through our airports, and that means that the investors are quite confident into what we are doing and how we are going to continue going forward. So this means that we have set the economic catalyst in motion.
Let's talk about the journey, how we got this award. Who voted? What was the criteria that was used?
The Aviation Week Africa used their platform, so which is quite secure and transparent at the same time. So they managed to set forward a platform that was accessed through a voting mechanism. And the stakeholders, including industry experts, everybody that is mostly involved in the fraternity of the aviation industry voted. And they were the ones who said, oh, Namibia Civil Aviation Authority in Africa, in Namibia, a small nation is doing something wonderful. Let's look at what they are doing. And we were mentioned amongst civil aviation authorities, the likes of the Zambia Civil Aviation Authority, and we scooped because they realized that we are doing something tremendous. I think what stood out mostly was the fact that we have a robust regulatory oversight system. Also, our capacity development has one of the most striking ones in terms of enriching our staff members with the oversight tools, the mechanisms that assisted them in making sure that the oversight functions within the state is handled very well. If you can remember, last year we achieved a 72.6% in the use of CMA oversight by the International Civil Aviation Organization, an auditor that put us at that level. However, after we've achieved that 72.6% in our effective implementation, we went back and we said, okay, what can we do? And we have looked at the corrective action plans that we have put forward. We've worked tirelessly, and something that we are continuously doing. So ours is about continuous improvement, and that's exactly what was recognized. And the forward-thinking mechanisms that we have put in place, also those are the ones that make the people realize that this organization is really progressing. We are doing a lot in Namibia.
For those Namibians who might be watching and most guests don't hear about NCAA, mostly just maybe hear about Namibia Airports Company, and might trying to find the link. What is the difference between the two? One is a regulator. What is the overall, if you could define it in brief, what is the mandate of the Namibia Civil Aviation Authority?
Okay, Namibia Civil Aviation Authority came to being through the Act of Parliament in 2016. Just shy of a decade. We will be celebrating our 10 years anniversary next year. Looking forward to that, also a milestone for us. And so if you can see, we are quite a small organization in terms of what we have been doing. Okay, obviously, we were initially in the existence through the government as the Directorate of Civil Aviation. The main functions of ours is the civil aviation oversight of the safety and the security. At the same time, we are also responsible for service provisioning through the air traffic services and the air navigation services that we are providing to the industry, like the NACs, the Fly Namibias, etc., etc. So the core function of the Namibia Civil Aviation Authority is to make sure that everybody that is licensed, including the aircraft, the airports, they are licensed according to the international civil aviation standards. At the same time, we are also making sure that certification processes are introduced and managed through the robust legal network that we have, which is the local regulations as well as the international standards that has been put forward by the likes of the International Civil Aviation Organization. And we are also making sure that these ones are continuously maintained at a level that is acceptable by the international standard. So our function is to regulate as well as to provide services in safety, security, as well as the air navigation services.
Let's talk about the improvements that maybe the NCAA has done over the past year that might have also contributed to you attaining this award.
Yes, we have done a number of improvements. We have looked at the capacity of the organization. We have capacitated our staff in the requirements of the International Civil Aviation Organization, as well as the standards that are put forward by various international organizations. We have also introduced a data mechanism where we have said, okay, fine, all the data that is going to be captured, which is going to assist us in the risk-based oversight. So we are going to hone in, especially on the areas that needs a lot of improvement. So those are the aspects that we have done. Also, we have a look at COSIA, which is an environmental aspect as to how we are going to make sure that not only are we going to be affecting our environment, but also making sure that we have to put back in the environment. Drones are one of the issues that we are looking at. So robust oversight has been introduced into the drones effect of that. There are a number of issues that we have done. Also, we have introduced, or not introduced, but also recruited more staff members so that because our industry is growing from where we were at COVID, and now our industry is growing. More and more airlines are joining the industry. That's why we need to capacitate more of our staff in terms of making sure that we have that levels. So we have done a number of things, and there are a number of things that we are also considering. So that there is a lot that the NCAA is doing.
Let's talk about the strategic objectives or plans for the NCAA for this year, 2025, and the year beyond, and considering that you're turning, that's a decade next year.
Okay, our strategic interventions are actually guided by the NDP5, the Harambee Prosperity Plan, all these other initiatives that the state mechanism has put through, including our own integrated strategic business plan. So we have put forward these things, stakeholder engagement centered to our collaborations, making sure that we not only are putting forward regulations, but making sure that we have the buy-in from the industry. As I've mentioned before, the industry are the ones that are the implementers. They are the ones that has to adhere to this. So if they are not in a position to, we will be the ones that will be failing. So we work hand in hand with the industry. And also the other things that we are looking for is more and more looking at strengthening the organization, capacity building, looking at how we can encourage or increase our training capacities. Recently, we have started also with an intern program where we have taken in UNAM students as interns. So we are going to work together with the likes of the UNAM and get more of the students so that they can work with us. So there are so many initiatives that we have put forward. The meteorological services are currently residing in the government. We are also looking at the possibility of putting them under the umbrella of the NCAA. Those are initiatives that we are putting forward. The Namibia's safety program has been introduced 2-3 years ago, and we are going to review that. Also, that means that our state safety program is actively becoming more and more robust. And now that we have another audit area within the SSP, which is the State Safety Program, we have to capacitate that section that is responsible for that oversight function. And one of the most exciting things, which I'm actually also part of, is that the Regional Safety Oversight Organization, which is SASO, has recruited more of our inspectors. So right now we have 6 accredited inspectors that will be assisting not only the Namibian industry, but also the regional industry. So we have all these initiatives that have been put in place. So not only are we looking inwards, but also outwards, because it's no use that we have done so much that we are only sitting with that. We have to look at our neighbors. We have to look at everybody else and make sure that they come to that level. And obviously, being the best civil aviation authority in Africa means a lot. And everybody will be looking at us, and they will expect a lot of high things from us. And that's why we need to make sure that we keep up the momentum.
Well, George Matroos, thank you so much for making time to speak to us this morning.
Thank you for having me.